And here we are. Should start going up more or less. Getting myself prepped and ready. Testing audio quality. Hello, hello. And here we are. Hello, hello. Should start going up. Testing quality. More or less. Probably gonna be as good as it'll ever be. And this is going to be interesting. Not only are we live streaming, we're doing things a bit differently. And I think this should be fun. I think it'll be a newer take on things. I think the door's open for a more interesting way of doing this. And when I say that, I mean more interesting, but also a little more of a breather on me. A little more I get a chance to breathe. Because at the end of the day, with a live stream format, I don't have to do anything afterwards. I mean, yes, right now I don't have anything in the description down below. And if anyone who pays attention to my channel knows that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into those YouTube descriptions that always get ignored and just always get bypassed every time. But I love what I do with most of those descriptions. So it's like, maybe I don't gotta worry about that now. Maybe I'll just type out something and just copy and paste it every time, every year, or every whatever. But yeah, I think overall doing this will probably save me time. But the downside of that being this right here, this right now. To those who are going to watch live, or those who aren't watching it and hopefully will watch this later, it's 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, so some of my West Coast folks might pop in now, or, later or whatever, but that's kind of my only problem with the live stream format. This is the best time for me to do it. Now, sure, could have I done this earlier? I could have. But, things happen. Life happens. Planning events. By the time I wake up, maybe certain sporting events are on. It's tricky when you're an NFL fan, the WNBA fan, when the NBA picks up in October and November and all that. When college football's on right now. College basketball. I don't really care much for the regular season, but when the tournaments and then the big March Madness happens, I'll be in that. Which, I guess, to be fair, March Madness is not going to involve these videos or these live streams now, but that's what I mean. I'm a busybody, more or less, or I'm kind of a lazy piece of shit too. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. But either way, it prevents me from doing these during the day. And because 9 times out of 10, whatever job I'm working is a night shift, I'm sleeping throughout most of the day and I'm awake during most of the night. So the only time I'm really available is here at 1:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope this isn't the case with future streams. I'm hoping I can plan this better and be smart, so that way the old heads in the NFL YouTube Prognosticators channel can actually see these live and be in the comments to check or whatever. That's the hope. But that's not always going to happen. So, it's tricky. But anywho, that could be just a little early mumbo jumbo. And we'll do the Justin special of tagging when the show actually starts. So are we ready for that, ladies and gentlemen? Boys and girls, theys and its, and all other pronouns in between. Let's get it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to how I'm going to be doing these predictions for the foreseeable future, the live stream format. I am your host, The Cat, and you are on the Blind Canadian Cat YouTube channel. I say meow. I can't really roll intros, because we're on a live stream, but you know how we do it. And, yeah. I mean, another thing about live stream is I might have moments of just blanking, mind blanking, or just jumbling over words, but hey, it's the price to pay for when you say, fuck it, we're doing it live. So, before we get into any of the picks, any of the blah blah blah, I want to discuss how I plan on doing this. Now, this mostly will probably be for people who are watching this later because they're not going to be able to watch this live. Because, like I discussed in the pre-show, it is currently 1:36 a.m. I hope I don't have to do this for all future streams, and I really should plan it and time it and all that stuff, but my schedule doesn't really allow for that. My days are spontaneous, and my work shifts are overnight, so it's just one of those things where I kind of have to play it by day. I just kind of have to do it that way. So hopefully I don't do the Justin thing and make these an hour long, but it's what I'm forced to do this. And I think this will be easier for me and my mentals and my dedication, blah blah blah. I can do it this way and it'll make more sense. And I'm gonna get Discord pings. Whatever. Live stream. We're having fun. Hello, log, if you ever see this. But yes, let's break down how I want to do things here. I think I will stick to mostly the same format, going over wins and losses, or going over my straight up, against the spread, and over under picks. I'll keep the same format. I don't think I'll do game by game breakdowns, but I'll go over my thoughts, say what I want to say, and go over that. I don't think I'll do recap like, oh, here at week 4 I have this many right and wrong for all these categories. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I could, we'll see, because now the tricky thing is to actually keep track of it offside, because another change I'm gonna be making. And before I want to, see, I'm already jumbling over my own words. But here's what I'm thinking of doing, basically. For those who can see the title of the stream, the video, whenever they see it, Justin has announced that, at the very least, he's going to take this season off from doing picks. He says he still wants to do football videos, but he's going to take this season off for picks. So, because of that, that was my biggest motivator to do these live streams, because I also thought about taking the year off myself, but since he's stepping down this year, possibly longer, I figure, you know what, in honor of him, for his spirit, for his will, I want to push forward, do it for him. So we'll do these live stream formats like he's done, and even for the sake of it, I got a little paper here I'm working on right now that has all the games, spreads, blah blah blah. He does a notebook usually where he writes all this down. I'll probably try to buy that here in the next couple of days so I can do it in a notebook. But for right now, I got one white piece of paper. It's got all the games, all their spreads, all their totals, and then I got fantasy stuff on the back that we can do. And I'll hopefully by the next couple of days buy that notebook, and I'll go through it myself to break down each of these games, blah blah blah. So, to Justin, good luck with CFL stuff, because I know you're still doing that. For any NFL content you do in the future, I look forward to it. And of course, with both fantasy leagues, I look forward to talking shit and having a blast. But if you need the year off from weekly predictions, I'll give it to you. A lot easier to do it when you're me, 25, and only work 2 days a week right now, as opposed to you, 40 plus, who I'm pretty sure works every day of the week, or at least most of the week. So I imagine, it takes a toll. It's a lot easier for me to do it here than for you. And yes, that's me cracking an old joke, because I'm tired of Coconut Mall with their 19 and 20 and 22-year-olds all calling me old. Fuck you guys, I'm 25, I'm not old. Amanda's 30. Yell at her. But yes, anyway, that's gonna be my plan, and I don't mind showing you guys this because right now nothing's circled, nothing's marked. You just see what they are, and that's gonna be how I want to do things. We'll keep the same format. We'll recap the previous week, see how I did. If I remember, I'll do the full what's my up-to-date standings on everything, and then we're gonna go down. And what we're gonna do is, because they're not marked, I'm going to be doing my predictions live. This is not a pre-planned thing where I'm just going to read off what I wrote down. This is, I have the list here, I'm going to write it down, what they are, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my thoughts, my feelings, and then I'm going to make a pick right here live with you. That is how I plan on doing this season. And again, I'm hoping this won't go to an hour, but it'll probably be an hour, hour and a half. If it's 2 hours, you can call me any kind of slur you want in the comments. Please don't actually do that. YouTube will report you. But that is my plan, and we're going to see how it works. And with a live stream format, it's not... It saves me editing. I think that was the biggest problem. It's editing, and I mean, my editing is mostly just chopping out. Sometimes I'm just blanking and throwing captions or slideshows or whatever. But it's a pain. I'm also not going to do score. I know Justin does do a lot of score predictions. I'm not going to do that. My brain's not that smart. And because, again, I'm doing this at 1:30 in the morning, now 1:40, and you're probably all going to be wondering. I'll take this moment to shout out. Hold on, I just have the note right here. Twitter user Zuragon. I'll show you this little note thing right here. I hope you can read that to some decent quality. Zuragon is the Twitter user who made these things that I have dangling from my ear. No, they are not earrings. This is just a stylistic choice of normal earrings and then having them hang off of it. This is Cassidy Amber and Eva Sunaka. They are from the hit game Project Eden Garden. See, I'm already slurring over my words. I don't think these particular things are up for sale anymore, but Zuragon, Twitter user, does a lot of art, is active in most fan gang communities. Wonderful person, and that's what these are, and that's where they're from. Again, I don't think this person is selling them anymore, but you can still follow this person on Twitter at Zuragon. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But if not, I also have it here. Spelling is Zuragan. Yes, it's 2 A's and an N at the end. You can look up their Twitter, see their fan art, see whatever. I think they'll do commissions or something. Again, I only started following it the other day, so I don't know exactly what's on there. But that is what these are, because I know the live comments, there's no one here right now, so no one's asking. You're probably going to ask at some point, so I'm just going to give it to you now. But yeah, that is my plan. I'm just going to go down the games, see what they have. And I also, because you might have saw I have some numbers crossed out, what I'll probably do is I'll write down when they initially drop, or like the Monday, I'll write down what I have. And then I'll do a double check again on the Wednesday, which I'll probably do most of these streams on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday, it's Thursday at 1 a.m. now, but I'll update them to right before when I start recording, so that way I can notice any drop, dips, blah blah blah. I'm not Geo, so I'm not smart enough to detect 702 calls or anything like that. But I can show you the drops and show you what's happened. And with that, let's get it started. Let's see where this beautiful 2025 NFL season takes us. Starting off with the Thursday game, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles are favored by 8.5, and the grand total of that game is 47.5. Now, the biggest thing that stands out to me, and should stand out to every one of you, Micah Parsons trade. Micah Parsons, longtime Dallas star, was traded to Green Bay. Dallas got a couple first-round picks, and they got Kenny Clark. So you lose an edge rusher and kind of a occasional linebacker coverage guy for a run stuffer, D tackles, blah blah blah, and a couple draft picks. So realistically, what's going to happen is the pass rush might go down, but the run defense will hopefully improve. And when I say this in a theoretical sense, because I actually don't remember how much Kenny Clark did last year, so he could be more sack happy than run stopper. I don't know. I'm just saying he's a D tackle. That's what I'm going with. And I mean, we can talk schematics, we can talk whatever. Philadelphia, it seems like everyone in their mind is like, hey, last season's over, we don't care. I saw an article saying that Nick Sirianni doesn't even want to have the team out on the field when they hang up the banner. He doesn't even want them on the field. So this team is all sorts of, we're not going to flex or whatever. We won our chip. We're ready for the next season. We're not even thinking twice about it. So how much will that work? We don't know. But it should be interesting to see. Dak coming back from injury. Should be ready to go by then. I'm being spammed with Discord messages. This is what I get for being friends with Europeans. 2 a.m. Discord. I will say this. Philly, I believe someone pointed this out to me, that Philly did not play most of their starters, if any, realistically, during the preseason games. Again, I'll admit, I only paid half attention to the preseason. But Philly didn't play a lot of starters, so what I'm expecting realistically is Philly's going to start out slow. But I also kind of expect Dallas to start out slow too. I'm expecting the defenses more or less to be more prepared than the offenses. Not to say the offenses can't score, but I'm expecting more from the defenses to start out early. And then just taking everything away, Philly, assuming everyone's ready to go eventually, they are the better team than Dallas. It's a couple steps easy. I'm not going to put too much emphasis into it, especially with Dallas. We don't know what the run game's going to look like. We don't know what the pass rush is going to look like. It's Dak, CD, some decent O-linemen, some overhyped corners, and a dream. So with that, I'm not thinking twice. I'm taking Philadelphia to win the game. And at 8.5, it'll probably look scary to start, but I think by the end of the game, it should be covered. I think a 10-plus win should be out of the question for Philadelphia. I think they're that much better. Yeah, it's a divisional game. Yes, it's the start of the season, so it could be tight, could be tense. Dallas could be wanting to stick it to them because, division shit. I think Philly, top to bottom, is better, and I don't think there's much of a debate. Give me Philly. Give me the 8.5 that they'll cover. Again, I feel like they should win by 10+, and we're not going to think twice about it. And for 47.5, like I said, I think it'll be slow starts for both, so I'm going under. So, I don't know if this will be my consistent thing I do, but look, that's how I'm going to write this down in the notebooks. Philly, circled, win, cover, and I'll put an arrow for under. Again, this is more of a me note thing, but I'm showing you this is how I plan on doing it. And again, we're just going to go down the line, see how long this takes. Next one, it's the San Paulo game with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs, it's a neutral site, but the Chiefs are the road team, so to speak. So realistically, LA is just getting screwed by playing a home game on the road. And I could talk about KC Blackmagic all we want. It's not going to really do anything. Chargers, they should be new and improved. Defense took some cuts from what I remember, but they drafted Omari and Hampton. And if you know a Harbaugh, you know Greg Roman, the OC. They love to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. Hampton should be up there for Rookie of the Year by the end of the season. Everyone's going to look at Genty. As long as Genty still gets 1,000 yards, then he'll probably take it. But Hampton should be a guy to look at. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play defense. Herbert's going to make enough throws. That said, it is the Chiefs, and I just do think the Chiefs are better still. Whether it's a schematic point, blah, 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 the Chiefs are a better team. So I'm taking Kansas City to win. I'm not going to think too much about it. 3, it's the usual price to play. Again, with a neutral field, it's just who's better. Chiefs better by 3. It makes sense. If this was more closer to 4, or like 4, like 3.5, 4, maybe even 5, I'd probably lean on the Chargers to cover, because I do think Kansas City, especially now they're going to be the first 6 games without Rice, it's going to be tight. It's going to be interesting. And I think the Chargers defensively and with their run game, they'll be right there. But -3, I'm going to take it. I'm going to hold my tongue and I'm going to roll with it. Same thing with the total. It started at 45.5, but with my update, only a few updates because I think it was only like 24 hours since I last checked. It did go up a point to 46.5. I think this is also, again, like I said, run game, defense, don't make mistakes. I also think this is just another under. So give me the under 46.5. Chiefs, cover, under. Now onto the Sunday games. Giants and Commanders. Giants, we should not sleep on the D-line. They're going to have a crazy-ass D-line. They got Burns, who should be better than last year. Dexter Lawrence, one of the best D-tackles, if not the best D-tackle in the game. Kayvon Thibodeau, Oregon bias, but I know he's good. And then drafting Abdul Carter, who should be the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. They got a ferocious D-line. And then with DC, you're expecting kind of a sophomore slump. I mean, it's one thing to, overperform expectations, but when you go as far as they did, and it was like, and this is not like too much, the Jaden Daniels effect. But that's not to say that others didn't contribute. Wildcard game, you got to give credit to the defense. Divisional round, you can give credit to the offense, but the defense also did force a lot of turnovers. So the defense should be new and improved. The offense, Terry's happy. They're going to roll with Eckler as RB1, but they got a couple of rookies that they really like, and I imagine they're going to take over at some point because we love Austin, but he's kind of old. So I imagine those rookies are going to take over at some point. Giants, they're hoping the Russ train will lead them somewhere. I don't have high hopes. I'm taking Washington to win this game. Line at 5.5. It is scary. It is a divisional game, but it's in DC. It is the Giants, who it's Malik Neighbors in a dream. I love Cam Scotty as much as the next person, but I don't know why the Giants are drafting him when you had Tyrone Tracy who went off last year. I don't know why you're doing it, but it's what they did, and it's risky, and it's a bit much for me, especially with divisional games. I say this even though I took -8 for Philadelphia, but I'm going to lay the 5.5 with Washington. I think if they are the team we expect them to be, and this is more looking at Jaden Daniels. If Jaden Daniels is the guy we expect him to be, I think 5.5 should be fine. It should be, again, a touchdown game. 20-13, 23-17, something like that. And that said, divisional game, week 1. A lot of people don't play. I see a total at 45.5. Probably a bad idea to do it, but I'm going to take the under. It's a divisional game, and I'm not thinking twice. So that's 3 games where I'm taking the favorites, I'm taking them to cover, and I'm taking the under in all their games. Again, week 1, it's one of those things, like, you don't judge teams, especially with only 3 preseason weeks now, don't judge teams on their week 1 performance. Hell, don't even judge them on their first 2 weeks. Ravens were 0-2 to start the season last year, and they were right in the playoffs. 12-5, made it to the divisional round, were a few derp plays away from the conference championship. Don't judge a team by the first 2 weeks. But that said, I think Washington should be able to win by a touchdown against the Giants. Next game here, we have the Panthers and the Jags. The Jags are 3.5-point favorites, and the total is at 46.5. Now, this is a game that not many people are going to circle in a literal sense, but, it's a game where you really got to think. You really got to think here. Because let's talk ball. Carolina, Jacksonville, both have first overall picks at QB. Both of them we want more, but haven't really gotten more from. Bryce Young, it started shit, but they found some hope near the end of last year. Some progress, some momentum, something. Jacksonville, it's been a downhill slant, and People want to scapegoat Doug Peterson for it. I don't know if that's the right call personally, but they're going to do it anyway. He's being scapegoated. Blah, blah, blah. Trevor Lawrence, I feel like at this point, especially since he got that money, he really got to figure it out. I don't know if Jacksonville would have the balls to do it, but if Trevor Lawrence has another season like he's had the last few years, it might be time to cut ties. But that said, these are two teams who I don't think a lot of people are expected to make a lot of noise, but you want to see them be competitive. Like Carolina, if they walk out with 7 wins, and Bryce Young looks like at least a top 20 quarterback, I don't think anyone's going to bat too much of an eye. Jacksonville, we really want Lawrence to be in that top 10, top 15 talks. Jacksonville, you only have Houston to compete with because we're not expecting much from Indy or Tennessee. So we really want you to do more. Hell, Mac Jones, while he might have not won a lot of games, he made Brian Thomas look good, so it's like you guys still have an offense. So Trevor Lawrence, it's time to wake up. It's time to be that guy. Hopefully Liam Cohen figures it out. So all eyes lean towards Jacksonville, and I'm going to give Jacksonville the edge here. Give me the Jags to win this game. 3.5 again. Since I'm so neutral in this game, there's a part of me that wants to take Carolina to cover the 3, but I just can't do it. Mostly because I still think Carolina is another year or two away from being that team, while Jacksonville, I think, can be a relevant team now. So I'm gonna take the 3.5. It's not a comfortable 3.5. It's a pinch your nose kind of 3.5 because you don't really want to pick this game either way because it could legitimately go either way. But I'm taking the Jags. I'll take the 3.5 on the line of 46.5. You got a handful of receivers in this game that could make plays. Your Brian Thomases, Travis Hunter, who's going to be apparently getting more receiver reps and corner reps. Your Ted McMillans, your Xavier Legette's. This feels like one where we could get some points. I mean, it might not be the safest one, but I'm going to take an over here just for the sake of I need them to figure it out. These teams need to figure it out, and these teams need to make a name for themselves. And I don't think either defense is really that impressive. Travis Hunter drafted, you'd think he'd play more corner, but they're going to have him play more receiver than corner. So I think that says something about the corners more, but I don't know. But I think both teams, another year in their system, Carolina got another year in their system to figure out and weapons so that Bryce can be more comfortable. And I think they got Rico Dowdle to pair with Chuba Hubbard, so they got a run game. Jacksonville, it's Travis' show for now, but they drafted Bashawn Tootle. They have Tank Bigsby there wanting to make a punch. I think the offenses can do enough to get you to that 47. A 26-23 type game. 27-21. Like, something in there. I think you can find it. I think it's possible because these two teams are below average or should be expected to be below average. So that opens the door for their offenses to do something. So that's my logic behind it. Jacksonville to win, cover 3.5, give me over 46. I'm being blown up with messages. See, Europeans, fucking Europeans. Next game we have the Steelers at the Jets. Haha, funny. Aaron Rodgers goes to a new team, and he still has to play a Week 1 game in New York, in MetLife, because we love irony. Everything's funny. It's so funny, guys. So funny. But yes. And I guess, Justin Fields, who used to be in Pittsburgh, is now in New York. So it's kind of a swap-a-roo for the two, which ultimately means not a whole lot. Because, again, I ask, what do you expect from these teams? Yeah, Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. You know what? Hey, we're going to do the Mike Tomlin thing. We're going to win games. We're going to be there somehow. You know, we're just going to be there. We don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to be there. Good. Aaron Rodgers is kind of an enigma at this point. Because he wasn't bad by statistical measures. Like, he wasn't Aaron Rodgers, but it's like, if you look at the numbers with the blindfold, he was probably like top 10 quarterback last year. Again, if you look at the blindfold. So, credit where credit is due, I suppose. I guess having like Garrett Wilson in them helps. Now you get DK Metcalf. Europeans, I swear. But, I don't know. Aaron Glenn should make the Jets defense interesting. Maybe make Sauce Gardner, but I see the first team All Pros. I see the numbers, but something in the back of my mind just still doesn't buy into Sauce Gardner being a top 5 corner. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm looking at too many internet memes. Whatever you want to call it. That's just how I feel. But yes, looking at this game, I gotta imagine, especially again, not a lot of them getting a lot of preseason reps. It's gonna be ugly. But I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I think they are the better team than the Jets. I think they'll be around. I think they'll be relevant. I think it'd be very fucking funny if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback that brings Mike Tomlin his first losing season. I think that'd be funny. But back in my mind, I don't think they can. I don't think he will. I think they'll figure it out. They'll find a way. Give me the Steelers. 2.5. It's under 3. It's a road game, but I'm not going to think too much about it. And 38.5. It's a very low number. You don't. For those who are new to gambling, you don't like totals that get under 40. It's very risky because there should be 2 shitty offenses and or 2 really great defenses. But I'm going to take the under, mostly because, again, I trust Pittsburgh's defense. I think Aaron Glenn will have the Jets' defense prepared. I'm not expecting 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers to drop 30, especially on the Jets' defense. And Justin Fields, I feel like, is a very conservative quarterback at this point. So he's not going to do a lot of dumb things. So I'll take the under. It's not the most confident under, but I will take it. On to the next game, we have the Raiders and the Patriots. I think this game is unironically the most interesting game of the week. Yeah, you have the Ravens and the Bills. That's not going to matter. The only thing there is home field, and even in week 1, you can't judge an opponent based on their week 1 performance. Detroit and Green Bay could be interesting. Houston and LA are both dark horses to go far. But I think this game is interesting in the sense of I think it's very plausible that these teams could compete for wild card. Again, that doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. I don't think either of them are going to the Super Bowl by any chance, or winning a playoff game for that matter. But I think they'll be in that mix. You know, last year, Denver, LA, Pittsburgh. I feel like one or both of these teams could be right there. I'm not going to say guaranteed wild card spot, but I think they're right there. I think an 8-9 win season for both these teams is not impossible. And I think it starts with week 1. Who can set the tone? Who can make a mark? And again, like I said, week 1, again, you don't judge too much, but I think it'll mean something for the teams if they can win the week 1 game. Drake May in year 2, his receiver core is old man Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL injury, and who knows what else. Vegas, trade for Geno, draft Ashton, have Brock, Jacoby's whining about a contract. It could really go either way. Patriots spent a lot of money in the offseason for depth pieces and all sorts of mumbling over my words again. But the Raiders, and I think it comes down to just veteran experience. It's Geno Smith. It's Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's been doing this long before since any of us were born. Man is 70-something. He's been doing this. He knows what he's doing. He's got Ashton. He's going to run the ball. He's got Max Crosby. He's going to stop the run, get sacks against the Patriots O-line, who, yes, they got a left tackle, but the rest leaves more to be desired. It does. It just does. So I think for the week 1 just experience, I think New England will be the better team by the end of the year. But I'm going to give Vegas the week 1 game. This will be my first underdog, then I'm taking to win their game outright. So give me them on the plus 2.5. And for 43.5, again, I think the offenses are more interesting on both these teams than the defense. So give me the over on the 43.5. Vegas to pull off the upset and to cover because they're the upset, and over 43.5. I am not making great time, but we'll see how it goes. Next one's Arizona, New Orleans. I'm not going to spend more than 2 seconds of thought on this. I'm taking the Cardinals to win. I think I said this last year, and they ended up kind of surprising, but then they fell off, so I was like half right, but not at the same time. I'm expecting New Orleans to be one of the worst, if not the worst team in the NFL. And you can blame it on whoever you want. You can blame it on the head coach. You can blame it on the quarterback. You can blame it on the receiving room. You can blame it on the defense. You can blame it on whoever you want. And it makes me sad because here we are with another year of somehow Brandon Cooks decided to sign with one of the worst teams. It pisses me off every time because Brandon Cooks was in 2 Super Bowls and couldn't win with either one of them. Granted, one of them he got knocked out with a concussion early on, but still. My boy Brandon Cooks out of Oregon State, he deserves a ring. He's one of the most underappreciated receivers in league history. Breaks my heart that he's got to spend this year in New Orleans. But yeah, I'm expecting New Orleans to be really bad. Cam Jordan is going to retire after this season. Alvin Kamara should be traded before the deadline, but who knows what's going to happen. Either way, I'm not thinking twice. Arizona, you take it. On your line, you're at 6.5. That's kind of scary because, again, it requires me to believe in the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have not really given me any reason to believe them. I took them in an upset last year, and while they didn't get the upset, they did cover. But 6.5 is scary, but I am going to take it, mostly on the fact that I do believe in New Orleans being bad rather than Arizona being good. 42.5. It comes down to I don't know enough about Arizona's defense off the top of my head to see how well they'll stop New Orleans. I don't know who else outside of Alvin Kamara is going to do much for the offense. Chris Olave, he's healthy, but how confident is he? Rashid Shaheed, could he go off for a long bomb? Maybe. It's one of those things. How much can Arizona produce for me here in this scenario? Could they drop 40? I don't know. James Conner, respectable running back. Kyler Murray, quarterback that's kind of stuck in mid because we don't know. Marvin Harrison Jr., granted not entirely his fault, but had a disappointing rookie year. What am I going to get from the Cardinals? And can I get enough for them that I feel comfortable taking 42.5? And the answer is no. I don't think I can rely on Arizona to heavy lift here to do 42.5. So what am I saying? I'm saying this game is realistically like 24-6. 27-9. Like, that's kind of the game I'm just seeing at this point. 27-10. Maybe the Saints get a touchdown near the end just to, try something, but I don't know what to expect from the offense. And I don't know what to expect from Arizona. So I'm going under, like I said, 24-6, 27-9. That's the kind of score I'm saying for Arizona and New Orleans. Next game is Cincy and Cleveland. Cincy, a whole off season of what ifs and trauma. You finally pay your pass rusher. You finally sign your rookie. What is your defense going to be? Because it can't be any worse than it was last year. And I made this point on Twitter, so I'll say it again here. It's as much as we want to shit on Cincy's defense, and trust me, I'll shit on them plenty of times. Realistically, they lost 2 games because of their special teams. The Week 5 game in Cincinnati against the Ravens, I don't know if it was the snapper or the holder, but one of them botched it. It's not Evan McPherson's fault that he missed the kick. Either the snapper had a bad snap or the holder botched the hold. But they fucked up the kick, and then the next 2 plays later, that's when Derrick Henry does his big run. Baltimore wins that game. And in the game against the Chargers, that one you can blame on McPherson. I think he missed like 2 separate kicks in the fourth quarter, or third and fourth, or something like that. He missed kicks, and it ended up costing Cincy that game. If they win either of those games, they get the tiebreakers they need to be the 7th seed in the playoffs. So it's like, Cincy's defense cannot be statistically worse than it was last year, right? Because it was one of the worst ever. And their offense, because I'm pretty sure they got preseason snaps, the O-line scares me. But it shouldn't be worse. This team should be better. And I think they will be better. But that said, trends are trends for a reason. And until disproven, you don't go against a trend. Week 1 Bengals, or just the September Bengals in general, but Week 1 Bengals especially, you do not trust. You do not trust. And whether you agree with me or not, that is on to you. But I am taking Cleveland with 40-year-old Joe Flacco to get the home upset on the Bengals. And I'm going to, of course, take them the plus 5.5. Even if you think I'm insane for taking Cleveland here, I think the 5.5 is one of the more comfortable pluses to take. Again, Cincy playing some preseason games with their starters might mean that they won't have a slow start to the season. But until a trend is broken, I'm not going against a trend. So give me Cleveland to pull off the upset and to cover the 5.5, because they're 5.5 point dogs at home. I'll take the 5.5. I feel like that one, not the worst bet, but I think plus 5.5 you can feel a little more comfortable with either way. Total at 47.5. I feel like if you're going to win a game like this, it normally should be in a shootout, but because it's Week 1 Bengals, you're skeptical on their scoring. And even then, even last year when they were figuring things out, they still weren't scoring a lot against Cleveland. So I'm going to take the under on 47.5. Because again, this could easily be a game that's 17-13, 24-21, something like that. And I say that for either way. It can go either way, 17-14 or 24-21. That's kind of how I see it anyway. So yeah, give me Cleveland on the upset, and I'll take under 47.5. My time is awful, but you know what? That's okay. Next game, we have the Dolphins in Indiana to take on the Colts. Colts apparently are a hop and a kick away from throwing Daniel Jones out onto the street, or Anthony Richardson on the street, because they're confidently going into the season with Daniel Jones. Which, yes, Daniel Jones has a playoff win. He can say that, and some other quarterbacks can't. You know who you are. But I can't. You can't look at your fan base and your franchise dead in the eye and say Daniel Jones gives us the best choice to win, especially when your other option is a quarterback you drafted 2 seasons ago with the 4th overall pick. You just can't do that. You can't. So it's one of those things where it's Indy. You're looking very bleak. You can say you're doing this because you think it's the best way to protect jobs and whatnot, but I would be shocked if Shane Steichen's not the first head coach fired. I would be shocked. And so with that said, Miami, they're healthy. I think Achan's got a little bit of something going on, but I'm not too stressed about that. If Achan has to miss time, they got the rookie Ollie Gordon, who's looked really good in the preseason. So I feel like if Achan has to miss time, they'll be fine, and if not, then hey, Devon Achan. Tua head is on straight for now. We'll see how long that lasts. Tyreek's there, Jalen Waddle's there, and if Tyreek is in a true natural decline, Jalen Waddle should take that step up because he has that potential. So that said, I get that the Colts are home, but I have no idea why they bothered being favored in this game. I'm taking Miami all day, every day. I would have probably taken them either with either Richardson or Daniel Jones. Don't matter to me. Miami, when healthy, is a competitive team. The problem with these last few years is that Tua can't stay healthy, or that Tua finds himself in concussion protocols all the damn time. If Tua stays healthy, this team is a top 8 team in the AFC. Which again, you need 70 in the playoffs, but they are a top 8 team in the AFC when Tua is healthy. So I'm taking Miami. This feels like the easiest one. The fact that they're underdogs in this game is insane to me, but I like them here. I'll take it. Now the question comes to this 46.5. I think with starting Daniel Jones, I think that tries to give you more, at least more of a under game, like a under 10, the reception, tight ends, running backs, all of them. Because Anthony Richardson, he's very like inconsistent, but will throw up a deep ball that hits every once in a while. So with Daniel Jones, I feel like you're open more to the under the short passing game, and I think that can lead to points. Indy, once again, not really addressing their secondary at all, to my memory at least. You got Tyler Warren. He should be a beast. Watching him at Penn State, I wanted him in my dynasty league so bad. I got beat to him in both leagues for my draft position I was at. But I think he'll be great, and I think Daniel Jones knows he'll be great, so Daniel Jones will feed him. I think the Colts can get enough points. I think Miami should dominate this game, but I think the Colts can give you enough points, especially since the Dolphins got rid of Jalen and they added Minka, so that's more safety rather than corner. So Pittman should be able to get open in certain areas, or whatever their wide receiver 2 is, because they got a lot of wide receiver 2s who you don't know who the number 2 is. Downs can do it. The rookie, the guy they drafted 2 years ago, I don't remember any of their names, but they got a bunch of wide receivers. I think they can do enough to score points. I like Miami to win by probably double digits, but I think Indy can score enough, so I'm going to grab over 46.5 in this game. Not a confident one. It might take till the last minute to get it, but I do think they can get enough points that they'll go over. On to the next one, we have Tampa and Atlanta. This is another one where the line did move. When I first wrote my note, it was at 2.5, but when I checked it up about an hour before I started recording, it went down to 1.5. I think, to my knowledge, there was something about one of their linemen. One of Tampa's offensive linemen might be dealing with an injury and might not play. I don't remember who, and I don't even remember if it was the lineman. But I think that might be the reason why that line has dipped. As far as I know, Mike Evans should be playing, Godwin should be playing, Mayfield, Bucky. All of them should still be good to go. So the offense should stay intact. Vita, front. For the most part, I think it's a lineman. I know a lineman signed a contract recently, but I think it's a different lineman that got hurt or has been dealing with something. So he might. So that's the only thing I can think of that justifies the line dropping a bit. The game is in Atlanta, and it has a relatively high total. I think push coming to shove, this game could legit go either way. It wouldn't surprise me, especially with Atlanta being at home. But if you really twist my arm a certain way, I think I still trust Tampa more. Could Atlanta be more competitive for the division this year? I mean, if you want to buy into it, feel free to buy into it. But excuse me. Another problem with doing these at 2 a.m. But I just think Tampa should be fine. Tampa should be better. They drafted another guy, so that way they don't have to rely on. I don't even fucking remember. Really not good at fan. I don't remember wide receiver 3s anymore. I'm washed, guys. I don't remember wide receiver 3s. But they got Ibuka now. So, and if I don't even remember what Chris Godwin. Again, I think Godwin should be fine. I could be. Damn. I should do research. See, this is why Justin is better than me when it comes to this stuff. Justin does his research. He writes down his notes. He makes sure he's checking all the injury reports. Me, and again, that might just be a week 1 thing where, we've heard a bunch of things over the weeks, so who knows what's up to date or relevant now. But I like Tampa. I'm going to trust them more because they've won more. and I have no reason not to trust them here. In Atlanta, you're banking on Michael Penix Jr., who, does he have something? We're not really sure to this point. But, yeah. Excuse me, hit or miss. I'm taking Tampa. 1.5. You take it. Regardless how you feel. If you take a team, you take the spread at that low. 47.5. This more or less based on Atlanta's defensive additions they've had over the offseason. I don't remember who all has and hasn't played in the preseason for both teams. 47 does seem high, but I'm going to pinch my nose and take that over. I think both teams with healthy offenses in the whole bunch should do just enough to keep the game scoring high. I mean, if Kirk Cousins can drop 500 yards and 36 points in a Week 5 game last year, Michael Penix, you can give me 20 points from yourself. Or 23, 25, 27 points. I think you could do it. This game, could it do 27-24? It could. I think it could. So give me that. Another game I'm not going to put too much emphasis on. Denver's hosting the Titans. I think Denver is one of those dark horse teams that could go on a run. Could probably upset one of the big three when we get to the playoffs. I think the door is open for them. So why not give them a shot? Why not? It comes down to Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked good in year one. Can he take the step in year two? Can Sean Payton really help develop him? Because that defense is going to be great. The O-line is going to be great. They drafted Harvey to be a sure running back because they haven't had a RB1 in years. Cortland Sutton's there. Marvin Mims is there. They traded away Vele, but they have Troy Franklin, who Bo Nix played with at Oregon. They traded for Evan Ingram, who hopefully will take that step to be a top 5 tight end. They have the pieces. They have everyone there. It's put up time. You have a chance. So I'm taking Denver, not thinking twice. I am curious to see how Cam Ward does putting him against that defense in Week 1. You're asking for bad luck, bad vibes, bad juju. So again, I ask you, A, don't take Week 1 games too literal, and B, don't overreact to Cam Ward if he plays bad in Week 1. He's playing Denver. He's probably going to look really bad. He probably is. Give him grace. Give him grace. 7.5, it feels gross, but I'm going to take it. Again, Denver, I think, is a dark horse team to go a very far way. And I'm not going to say it's impossible. I don't want to sound asinine. But if we're really ranking AFC teams, you have your big three with Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. That tier 2 group of Houston, LA, you can put Denver in there. I think Denver has the best chance of anyone in this tier 2 to go on a run. I don't think it is impossible for this Denver team to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to bet on it. I'm not going to say it's likely. But I don't think it's impossible. I think they have a legit shot with how they're constructed, with how they're built. I think they have a legit shot to go on a run. So I'm very high on Denver. I'm taking that. I'm running with it. I'm buying on that defense. I don't think Denver has to score a lot in this game. I don't think the offense has to do much. The defense should take care of the rookie. So I'm going to take under 42.5 that I have here. Again, same thing with like the Arizona and New Orleans game. 24-6, 31-10 if it gets really pushy. It keeps it under. We're feeling good. Next game, another divisional game. We got a couple of them. San Fran and Seattle. Seattle is going to put all their money in the Sam Darnold basket this year. I like Mike McDonald as a coach. We'll see how he does with a new quarterback and a new system. Got rid of Tyler Lockett. They're bringing in Cooper Kupp to replace one old man with another, basically. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, very shaky O-line. Defense, we love the secondary, but the front seven leave a little more to be desired. San Fran, their story is always the same. When everything gets bad, it gets worse, and everyone gets injured, and they've had to unload so much defense for cap space reasons because they gave Brock Purdy all that money. But Purdy's healthy. McCaffrey, for all we know, should be healthy, and whatever German doctor gave him medicines and shit, hopefully, he doesn't have to be Christian McCaffrey, but at least be premium Bucky Irving, premium Devon Achane, Diet Saquon. Just be that. You don't gotta be Christian McCaffrey anymore. Just be that tier 2 guy. Or like 1A or 1B. Or, you know what I'm saying. They're not going to have Ayuk in this game. They traded away Debo, so the receiving core is what? Like Ricky Pearsall and a dream. I already forget the rest of the receiver. Oh, Jawan Jennings, I think he wanted a contract, but he'll probably play week 1 anyway. So it's tricky, but, they got both on the defense. They drafted Mykel Williams. Their secondary should still be respectable. I did this last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. I'm not buying the Sam Darnold hype. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. So give me the Niners. Give me to win this game. Did not think twice about it. 2.5 is easy. 43.5. I think if you look at both of these teams, both their mindset, Robert Saleh is back for defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald. I think defenses are a priority for both. So I think they're going to stick to that. It's going to be a classic NFC West showdown. Defenses will reign supreme. I'm taking under 43.5. Again, another low-scoring game. 23-20. I don't think it's impossible, but 24-13 is probably more in the realm of what I'm imagining. Yeah. With San Fran healthy, I trust them more. Next one. Now, this game could mean a lot of things because these are two teams that people have Super Bowl expectations for. Two teams that should be competitive in the division because I'm not buying Minnesota. I maybe just be a Minnesota hater at this point. But I think that was the flukiest of fluke runs by a team ever. And yeah, I'm not going to think so. Detroit, they lost their coordinator, so they're going to take a step back, obviously. But I trust Dan Campbell. I trust Goff. I trust Jameer and David and Amon-Ra. I trust these guys. Aiden Hutchinson should be back. I trust him. I trust this team. It's veterans. They're experienced. They've done this before. Green Bay, you want to believe. You want to buy in the hype. You just want this. They're right there. They're right there to figure it out. And they just haven't figured it out. Tell me, Green Bay, why have you not figured it out? You're right there. Jordan Love, he has potential for top 10 QB. It's just very hit or miss with the guy. And yes, he dealt with some injury concerns last year, so that's fair. But he could be right there to be a top 10 guy. They drafted a receiver in the first round finally after 174 years of not doing it. They got Golden. They got Jacobs. They got all their wide receiver twos now that can actually be wide receiver twos, because Golden will hopefully take over wide receiver 1. They finally have that. But of all that, they have one more thing that's interesting, and that trade for Micah Parsons. They have a dominant pass rusher now, a guy that can get double-digit sacks. Now it'll be tricky because he's learning a new defensive scheme, and he has to go against Penei Sewell as his first game. So, definitely something to keep an eye out for. Definitely something that'll be interesting. But I think, again, when it comes down to it, I think experience prevails. I like the Lions. I'm taking the Lions in this game to win. Now again, because it's in Green Bay and because it's 50-50, the Packers are favored. I like the Lions. I'm taking them to get their 2.5 points from Green Bay. And they have a total of 47.5. Micah Parsons can make things really interesting, but Detroit, again, a lot of defensive pieces were hurt. I don't think all of them are going to be back for the start, but some should be back. And they don't have their defensive coordinator. It's 2:30 a.m. streaming. Woo! So again, it's risky. It's a bit high for my taste, but I'm gonna take the over because I do very well think a 30-24 game is very possible. Could the Lions score 40? Maybe. I would not say it's a 0% chance they could do that. Micah Parsons adds to a nice pass rush, but when the Lions have one of the best O-lines already, how much is that pass rush going to do? So yeah, give me the Lions to upset Green Bay and score a lot of points, over 47.5. 3 more games to go. We're already over an hour. Yippee. Let's see how we do. Houston goes to LA to take on the Rams. The Rams are 3-point favorites, means basically an even game. And another thing that moved, the total was set at 44.5. It's dropped down to 43.5. And honestly, you can drop it however you want. This is Old Man Stafford with back issues versus C.J. Stroud with no offensive line. I'll be surprised if either team comes away with 20. This has the makings of offenses aren't going to do much because the Rams have a crazy-ass front seven, and Houston has a great defense overall. I don't expect many points. So whatever side you lean on, I'm taking the under in this. I think that's the guarantee here. Because again, Houston has a top 5 defense. Should be better this year against Stafford, who's been dealing with back issues all offseason. And there was even concerns if he would play week 1. So hopefully that O-line can keep him upright as long as it can. And then you got C.J. Stroud, who's got Jared Verse and the other guy that got drafted from the same school, and then Kobe Turner, and you have a Rams pass rush that's gonna make your life hell against the Texans O-line. That is gonna be subpar. Hopefully they can gel together because CJ was in hell last year, but they got rid of their best guy and didn't really improve anywhere. Got rid of Diggs. Dell's not gonna be back for probably all of the season, so it's Nico and the 2 rookies they drafted. So yeah, where are the points coming, guys? Where are these points? I can see you moving it down from 44 to 43. I don't know where these points are coming from. This is the easy under for me, and I'm rolling with that under. The main tiebreaker to me comes down to, again, home field and who can keep their quarterback alive quicker. And I'm more willing to believe that Matthew Stafford, with a better O-line than the Texans have, with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, can figure something out. Kyron Williams in the backfield. I already forgot who the tight end, Higbee, I think it is. So I'm leaning Rams. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. 3, yeah, you take it. Again, like you said, if it's 3 or under, you take it. Doesn't matter. The rare chance that you get a 2-point or 1-point game, they're very rare. Take the point. And again, like I said, under. This is a 17-13 game, and not because either team are bad. It's because it's bad O-line versus it's one team's got a bad O-line, one team is up against a great defense. Yeah. So take your pick on the reasoning. 17-13, 13-10. This could push, honestly, with a -3. This could push 20-17, 20-13, shit like that. I would be surprised if both teams dropped 20. That would say more to their quarterbacks than anything else. But that is just how I see it. And then we got our final 2 games. Sunday Night Football, of course, with my beloved Ravens, heading to Buffalo. And this is another line that I'm starting to wonder if I just misread it or it has actually shifted. Because I know I've checked a couple of times that it has shifted, but I don't know if this one is an actual shift or if I just misread something. But anywho, I wrote down that Buffalo was a 1.5 favorite when this game last when I first looked at it this week. Looking at it today, it said that Baltimore was now the 1.5 point favorite. So I asked, did I just misread it, or was Buffalo a legit favorite at one point? Anything's possible. Bottom line is, this game is pretty much a pick 'em. Take your pick. And like Baltimore's used to having the better regular season. I'm just yawning all over the place. I'm going to be up for another 4 hours. So I don't know why I'm yawning. Take your pick. Go either way. But I will say this again. That 50.5, Baltimore and Buffalo. I know that neither quarterback has played in the preseason. So there is concern for rust. And this isn't Josh Allen last year, week 1, playing against Arizona, who had no real defense, so he could drop 30 points no problem. This is the Baltimore defense that most of them did play, and they don't need to worry about rust, because they should be able to handle it just fine. Same with the Buffalo team, where I'm imagining it's going to be relatively cold. Imagining it's going to be relatively tough. I think both quarterbacks will have some form of rust. Not completely, because, they're both top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. But I think some level of rust is to be expected. So that's why I'm saying I don't buy the 50.5. I think that's way too much for a week 1 game in Buffalo when both quarterbacks didn't play in the preseason. I think it's too much. Now, if this was like the 47.5 that we've been seeing, I might be inclined to take it. 44, I'd be running away with this like a motherfucker. 50 is just too much for me. For week 1 again, neither have played preseason. Buffalo, you're still trying to figure out what the offense is going to look like. Baltimore, you're confident, but there was that scare with Lamar. We're assuming, I think, got his foot stepped on or something. So there was a scare, but he should be fine. Could go either way. But I'm biased. I am absolutely biased. So I'm taking Baltimore to win this game. A lot of people realistically probably would as well. But I'm biased, so that's what's my pushing factor. It is an even game, through and through. But I'm taking Baltimore. I'll take the 1.5 that they're favorited, I guess now. So 1.5 point favorites and under 50. This is more of that 27 to 23 kind of game. Just right at 50, but not completely 50. Or you can go a little lower, 26 to 20. It'll go over 40. I just don't think it'll get to 50. And the final game, a little more letdowny when you look at your other primetime games, your Dallas and Phillies, Chiefs and Chargers and San Paulo, Ravens, Bills, and then you're going to end it with Minnesota, Chicago? Like, there's definitely less boom to it, but it is an interesting story. It's J.J. McCarthy. We finally get to see him after not playing at all last year. Like, hey, this team with Sam motherfucking Darnold won 14 games. What are you going to do? We don't need you to win 14, but damn, if you're not winning 8, 9, 10 games, we're going to have problems. Versus Caleb, like, hey, we gave you a lot of weapons last year. You didn't quite figure it out. We're going to try this again. We'll give you weapons. Hell, we'll give you Ben motherfucking Johnson, who everyone's been praising as the second coming of the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay types of creative offensive geniuses. So, looking at you, Ben, what can you do with Caleb? What can you do with his offense? With the boatload of riches you have. Running back game still looks shaky, but again, DJ Moore. Romeo Doomsday. You draft Luther Burden. You draft Colston Loveland. I think Cole Kmet is still on the team. You have players. You have pieces. Figure it out. Figure it out. Minnesota, the tricky part in this game, Jordan Addison is suspended for the first 3 games. So it's old man Thielen that you traded for and Jalen Naylor to be the opposite guys of Justin Jefferson. So that comes down to the faith and trust of these quarterbacks and their weapons. And I'm going to tell you from my POV, my perspective of things. Minnesota won 14 games with Sam Darnold. Can J.J. McCarthy not give me 8, 9, 10? Can he not? I think it's manageable. I think it should be doable for him. And I think it starts here. It starts early. Bears, I think they'll be better than they were last year, but I am not sold on the hype yet. Give me the Vikings to win this game. They're favored by 1.5 on the road. I'll take it. I'll run with it. And that said, because of the Jordan Addison injury, how much is Thielen and Naylor going to contribute with Justin Jefferson, with the Bears defense, and all the opponents in the middle? You'd think there'd be enough weapons. This could probably get to 44. I wouldn't be surprised if, it just sneaks over 45, 46. But I'm going to bet on the under because I think both defenses are new, improved, and better. And I'm not fully sold on the quarterbacks. The weapons should be fine, but the quarterbacks are still 50-50. So I'm taking the under. And as you can see, my beautiful paper, all my scribblings, all my writings. We'll just go over it one more time. Eagles to win and cover against the Cowboys, we're going under. Chiefs to win and cover against the Chargers, we're going under. Commanders to win and cover 5.5, we're going under. Jags to cover 3.5, we're going over. Steelers to cover 2.5 over the Jets, we're going under. Vegas to cover against New England and an upset, and we're going over. Arizona to cover and a win against the Saints, we're going under. Cleveland to upset Cincinnati because it's the Week 1 Bengals, so Cleveland on the upset, and we're going under. Miami to upset, I don't know why they're still betting underdogs, but Miami to upset Indy, and we'll go over. Tampa to win in Atlanta, going over. Denver to have full control over the Titans, and we're going under. Now to take care of business against Seattle, under. Detroit to get the upset win against Green Bay, we're going over. This will probably be the highest scoring game of the week. We got the Rams over the Texans. They'll cover the 3, which I wouldn't be surprised if this pushes because this feels like a 3-point win exactly. But they're going to stay under because I think this is the best under of the week. Ravens to win, and from what I'm being told, they are the favorites down to win, cover, and go under the 50 because I think it's too much. And the Vikings to win, cover 1.5, and stay under 44.5. Those are the picks, and you just have to trust me that I explained everything because I am not now doing live stream things. I can't put the things up on the screen anymore, so you just have to trust and believe me when I say these picks. And then the other thing, note the fantasy updates. Again, we'll try to do updates when I can. New season's upon us. I'm in 5 leagues in total, but I'm only going to update you on 3 because I got 2 leagues with Andrew and crew, but they fucked up the point scoring system to hell and back. So there's no point in putting energy into it. I mean, not to say it like that, but it's just like they don't care either way. Especially now with League of Assholes, year 10. Congratulations to all the members of that who've been here since day 1. We're year 10. We're also doing money now too, so we have a $30 buy-in. Justin's league is a $30 buy-in. Chris's league is a $40 buy-in. I'm spending $100 to play fantasy football. Please, I need to win one of these leagues, and everything will be alright. But yes, LOA week 1 against Critty. Good boy Christopher. I'm projected to win that game. In Chris's league, I'm going up against Carmine, who I'm pretty sure was a champion. I've already forgotten. So shit, I'm projected to lose that game. And then in the Professional Fantasy League, I got Justin as a week 1 matchup. It's Justin's league. I'm playing him week 1. Poetic, especially for this. Projected to lose that one as well. And with that, that is the first live stream. Hour 14, I like it. Hopefully next time, or for next week, we'll do less yapping about just pre-show shit and less explaining, and we'll just kind of break down things quickly. Maybe I'll find a way to talk more or less about certain things. Maybe I'll do it at a better time when I'm not yawning, even though it's fucking I'm not going to be sleeping for another 4 hours, so I don't know why I'm yawning at 2:46 in the morning. But I think I've tired out my throat because I've done nothing but talk for an hour straight. I haven't yapped that long in so long. And I don't have editing to back me up to protect me. Let me know if y'all think doing this was also worth it, by the way. Because if this style actually kind of somewhat works, I might do it in public more often. I had these things hanging off like my purse as just a decoration shit. But like the way I wear it, you never really see them. So I'm wondering if it would be just for the shits and giggles do it here. I don't wear piercings at my job anymore because it's like that kind of job you're better off not wearing piercings. But like, let me know if you think this works for me. And if not, oh well. You can't say I didn't try. You always got to experiment. Again, shout out to Zaragon. I think that's how you say it. And that's all for me. By the time most of the procs see this, if they choose to watch it, it'll be less than 12 hours in the game. Thank you all for tuning in that did tune in. I did see that number go up to 2, 3, 4 a couple times. No one said anything in the live chat, but I did see go up 2, 3, 4 people here. So to those who did pop in, I saw you. I appreciate you. I have no problem with you not commenting. It is 2 in the morning, so I have no problems with you not putting in the energy to actually watch this. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Again, I'm not gonna bother trying to schedule. Yeah, I'll do it at this time because I don't know when I'm gonna be available. And hell, I'm not gonna really be too concerned with the live stream aspect. I will upload these. These will be uploaded. You can watch these after I'm done recording. I'll timestamp when I need to timestamp. But outside of that, I'm not gonna really say much or do much. This is the future. This is me. It's being lazy, but without being lazy. Because now I gotta really watch myself with what I say, with what I do. And yeah, there's no escape. Shout out to good friend Justin. And all the years you did it. If last year was the last year you've ever did this, then I gotta say it was an honor. It's through the videos of a Chris, a Justin, and a Geo that not only introduced me to sports predictions as a series on the internet, on my YouTube channel, but also got me into sports gambling. And while I haven't really won anything in the last 2 years, you did win me big on Super Bowl 57. So it's a win where you can take it. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. Thank you all for watching who's going to watch this after it's uploaded. I will see you in week 2. Choose peace, accept love, and have big trust. Goodbye, Internet. And stop streaming.